Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a match between Dark and MaxPax. Here on Hardwire, top right, it is going to be Dark. And in the bottom left, it is MaxPax, the Swedish Protoss player. He is 17 years old. He is challenging a former world champion. Let's see how he does here today from DreamHack Last Chance. Katowice is coming up. Cannot wait to see who comes out on top there. I don't think there's a favorite. We've got Raynor, we've got Serral, we've got Maru, we've got Trap. I think those are the favorites, and Rogue as well. Is there anybody else who's a favorite? Let me know in the comments if I forgot anybody who is a favorite to win Katowice, but that is a lot of names, right? Blocking off the hatch here as a MaxPax. Maybe we will see MaxPax win one. Because, man, he is super impressive lately. He is increasing in skill and knowledge and power. He's not the kid that did proxies every game. And kind of revolutionized the PvT matchup. Nope. He can do macro games. He can do mid games. Middling games? I don't know. Not cheese games? Anyway. Checking around to see what's going on here with Dark. And again, Dark is just what else do we say about Dark, right? He's a former world champion. He is insanely good at StarCraft. He's very terrifying. I would not be surprised to see MaxPax struggle here because it's one thing to be good against the Raynors and the Serrals of the world that you play against a lot on the European server as your MaxPax. It's another thing to come up against Dark, who's a Korean Zerg player and plays a little bit of a different style of PvZ than perhaps you're used to. The timings are going to be different. There's going to be tendencies that Raynor and Serral have that Dark doesn't have, right? So, I mean, I'm just curious to see how MaxPax is going to handle this. Dark is someone who's very good with the Zerglings. I mean, I think every elite Zerg player is on some level, but Dark is just... he's able to hit you with timings that you're not quite ready for in positions maybe you're not quite ready to see them. So... let's see if Dark goes for some of that here. Just traditional Ling stuff now. He's not Ling flooding at the 2.5 minute mark after he has a third base up or anything. But MaxPax, it's really up to him to kind of decide how this game goes early, right? So, boop, Stargate opening. Cool. Is he going to go for Stargate all the way here? Is he going to try to go for some Colossus and Disruptors? Maybe some Storm? Maybe a Mothership opening. That'd be kind of cool. We don't see that a lot off of 2 bases. If we do see Motherships, it's usually... you know, after we got 4 or 5 bases rolling, and then they're like, fine, make a Mothership. Alright, so Voider opening here from MaxPax. On the other side, Dark could go for some kind of a Queen Walk, try to murder MaxPax's attempt to go Sky Toss opening. On the other side of it, he could just roll with it. So Ling gets in here, sees the scout, sees the Stargate, doesn't see a second Stargate, doesn't see a robotics facility, doesn't see any further tech, actually. This is interesting. Nor really any sign of a third base, which is also interesting. No, there is a third base now. Probe sneaking up here to see what's what. Oracle follow-up after the Void Ray is out. Void Ray very good at defending third bases. Oracles are 2. And there's a couple of Lings. Some Lings out here, 6 of them. Once again, it's not a Ling flood. Oh, he's making some more, though. Gets a full surround on Señorita Adept here. With the probe helping. No, the Adept goes down. Oracle has to come in and deal with this. Get out of here, kids. This isn't a place for you. School's been out for 3 months. Alright, more Lings creeping up here. Some spores to deal with, obviously, the threat of Oracle harassment. This Oracle's name, by the way, is Larry Ellison, CEO of Oracle Corporation, looking for ways to exploit his workers and customers more so he could buy an even larger yacht. His top engineers were working on this plan when they accidentally caused a rift in space-time through which Larry fell, ending up on the Protoss homeworld of Ire. Due to a terrible fault on the Universal Translator, when Larry explained to the Protoss that he was from Oracle looking to exploit his workers to make more money, they thought he said he was an Oracle looking to kill enemy workers to stop them from making more money. They packed him off into an Oracle, from which Larry couldn't escape unless he killed off an entire enemy mineral line. Whew. Whew, boy. All right, well, Ling's, sharking around a bit, being annoying, being a constant threat. Good positioning on that Adept. Ooh, sneaking out here, though. You don't want to sneak out. You can get surrounded when you've snuck out there. So, positioning yourself in there, bit of a better place to be. Revelation, helping this Void Ray kill some pretty Stumas. Queen's taking exception to that. Dark's got a lair on the way. It is, okay, it is air weapons. We've got the double Stargate now. So it does definitely look like Revelation gets tossed down again. It does look like MaxPax is going for the Sky Toss strategy now, rather than later. Usually don't get +1 air. I mean, you can get a +1 air attack if you're going for like a Void Ray charge lot opening and you're trying to kill Dark that way. And then, you're adding in some Colossus and Disruptors and stuff and some Storm. And then maybe later going into full Sky Toss. So just got to keep an eye on what that production tab says. See exactly what's going on here for MaxPax. Because it could just be, or maybe like a Void Ray Adept kind of a thing too, right? But Safety Spire coming in from Dark. I don't know if he's planning on using that. Mutalisk's trade relatively okay on these Void Rays. But also Hydras and Queens are kind of more what you need to be doing against those units. Zerglings. Alright, look at this. Just opportunistically looking for what he can get. Not interested in going for like a huge attack. As soon as there's probes out in the open, we'll surround them and kill them. Sure. We might lose a few Lings to the Void Rays. Absolutely, but whatever. There's a Fleet Beacon and a Robotics Bay. So maybe just porque no los dos. Maybe we can make some Colossus and Disruptors and Carriers here. Can support that plan from MaxPax. He knows what's up. MaxPax working on 1, 2, 3, 4th base now. 6 o'clock. 4th base is already rolling from Dark End. 5th base coming up top left. And now Carrier production begins at the exact same time Corruptor production begins. So that... This might be one of those games where it's like, I'm making Carriers, and then there's enough Corruptors to one-shot them as they come out of the Stargate and die. So Zergling's chomping away, taking the guaranteed damage here. Well, tried going for more guaranteed damage by killing that cannon that was warping in rather than the Nexus that was warping in. You know how that works. Man, Corruptor count is 7 with 9 more on the way. Yeah, I do feel like this might be one of those games where it's like, you have Void Rays, cute. I just have enough Corruptors to burn you down, and then your Carriers are dead, and then you're a sad panda. Or whatever animals are native to Sweden. I don't actually know. There's probably some kind of fox that's native to Sweden. Probably some bears, too. That sounds like a Swedish animal of sorts. Gophers. Woodland-style creatures, right? Active with the Lings until they all die, and then less active with the Lings because they're dead. Other Lings out running a boot, though. Yeah, man, this Corruptor count is 6, 8. So this is a lot of Corruptors. This is a giant Corruptor ball for 8 minutes. But there's been no harassment. There's been no attacks. There's been no really attempts to kill drones at all today. 0 drones have died. There was not that Void Ray style attack with Zealot support that I thought there might be. MaxPax is just like, I'm letting you max out, I'm going to max out, and we'll see who comes out on top. So the Corruptor count is only 23 with 7 more to go. With +1 flyer, I don't know if these Void Rays can handle this. Looking at it, the giant Corruptor ball shows up. I've done this before to enemy Protoss players. I've showed up. I've known their opening Carrier, and I just show up with all the Corruptors in the world around 8 minutes and then just win. It's great. So Larry Ellison might be dead. Oh, we're just caustic spraying down this 4th base. All right, Dark. This is a little bit of a playing with your food maneuver, but sure, Nexus down. And there's no prismatic alignment available, but Void Ray is still a little bit much. The Corruptors, we lost a bunch of them there. 7 of them went down for a Nexus. There's 8 more Corruptors in the way. On the way, as people who speak English say. I'm definitely an English speaker. Yep. So 24 Lings coming in. Hive getting researched. Flux Fanes is done. +2 attack and charge getting researched for MaxPax. And once again, the prismatic alignment is pretty scary, even if you have 1,000,000 Corruptors. 30 Corruptors versus 9 Void Rays. Ooh, beautiful micro there. sniping individual Void Rays. Oh, and then it wears off. Oh, no. Oh, no. Suddenly, the Void Ray count is 0, and the carriers are in trouble. And there's a handful of Stalkers trying to save the day. And even shield batteries can't save it here. Stalkers, okay, do manage to shove them away temporarily. But guess what? Dark is making more of them. He's making more Corruptors. He's also got a Greater Spire, which makes sense as a follow-up to this. Because once you've killed all of the Sky Tossy stuff, you want something to kill the ground stuff, too. Broodlords do pretty well at that. Good transfuses on the... Ooh, beautiful transfuses. Going back home to get refilled on HP. And is healed up. It's, again, how English speakers would say that. And a couple of Adepts are like, we're going to go scouting. No. Say the Zerglings, you're not. This is a little bit of an unconventional ZVP, right? Mass Corruptor play. And then some Lings and Roaches come in and say, hey, Stalkers, you can't fight against this many Lings and Roaches, can ya? Shield Battery overcharge doesn't really help a lot when the Shield Battery dies to Zerglings and Roaches here. So Charge Lot's going to be a fairly big threat to the Lings and the Roaches on some level. But if we can whittle those down, that might end up working out. Got to kite here, don't you? Adrenal Glance is on the way, and that's going to help the Lings do better in situations like that. Also, some Charge Lots coming up top left because, you know, Zealots are into that kind of thing. Yeah, Roaches are just like, okay, we're done kiting. Let's just run for it. Corruptor is cruising down this left side, really keeping all of the pressure on MaxPax. Resources lost here are 8,000 to 7,000, which is not ideal if you're a Protoss player to be that even in resources lost at 12 minutes. Plus, Dark has an income advantage and has for about the last 5 minutes of the match. So Dark has not lost a base yet. He hasn't lost a drone yet. He's throwing up some spines to deal with Zealot attacks that are probably coming his way later. And MaxPax says, I gotta maybe get some aggression on ya. That sounds about right, MaxPax. I think you do. Broodlords are in production. There are already 7 of them. And is their answer to Broodlords? The Void Rays, kind of, yeah. Alright. MaxPax is like, do we want to do this? And the answer is the Broodlords come in on the flank, and you're like, oh, okay, so my Disruptors are going to die. Big engagement. The Void Rays have to deal with the Corruptors and the Broodlords here. Transfuse is going down on all of the Zerg units, and MaxPax is forced to retreat. He recalls out, but that won't save one of his carriers from dying anyway, and some drones go down, that's fine. Army value 104 to 81, and then trying to... What are you even chasing, Corruptors? I guess they're just along for the ride, along with the Roaches there. +3 missile attacks on the way. I like that. If you're going for Roaches as your primary ranged ground attack, then yeah, missile attack is the way to go. Additional carriers, +3 carrier attack. Well, air attack is on the way from MaxPax. MaxPax did lose that one Nexus, but he's replaced it, and he's expanding again. So, I mean, he's down overall in supply. Dark has a bigger bank. I did recently cast a MaxPax versus Rainer match. That gets an epic tag. It's on my Patreon, actually. If you're interested in seeing that now, rather than waiting for a month to show up on this channel, because it's a Patreon special cast, you can support me at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for as little as $1 a month and gain access to that thing now. Another base on the way from Dark. Quick plug as well for the Falcon Paladin Hour. It's a podcast that I do every week with Samacron and Australian. Just search Falcon Paladin in your podcast app. You'll find it if you want to hear our thoughts on things like TV shows and movies, and StarCraft tournaments like GSL and ESL events, Premier Tournament stuff. You can check that out as well anywhere you get your podcasts, including Spotify. We're out there. All right, Broodlords raining terror down as they siege upon these warp gates. A little Roach attack same time, running into your sparsely defended 6 o'clock base. Actually pulling back a little bit. The Broodlords, we're not just kidding, we're not really committing here, they said. Bunch of probes gonna die, though, and then the Void Rays show up and eat them all, but how many probes are gonna die before the Roaches deal with them? Do you have Burrow? Burrow would be neat here, but no. There is no Burrow, but that is 17-19 Zealot warp in main base, though. And Ron, good drone pull, rather, from Dark. And they're going to try to take down the Hive, which would be a nice get. Is it gonna work? Zealots on top of your drones. The drones are trying to fight and save this thing, but also they're dying. So not ideal. Is that a pylon that got raised? So yeah, the hive is dead. Long live the hive. Oh, Fungal. Fungal keeps the Zealots from taking down that Infestor. That's humongous. That's a great play there. That is a mothership. Remember what I said about motherships being like a 4-5 base style thing? Yeah. So the big problem here for MaxPax is that it only has about 50 minerals in the bank, and Dark is sitting on about 3,000. That's a massive discrepancy. Dark's got a ton of bases everywhere. He has so many bases, he doesn't have enough drones to saturate them all, or even have any workers at all in some of these bases. He's just using them for larva production, basically. Little roach run by takes out 4 more probes. Replacement hive coming in at the natural base here. Had to go to lair and then to hive, which is kind of annoying, but both players are kind of just hanging out at this point, aren't they? They're just sort of, you know, macroing up here. It's really hard to attack into MaxPax when he's got shield batteries all over the place. And attacking on the creep is really dicey for MaxPax too. There's spore crawlers coming up there. Same purpose, really. Dark Shrine. When behind Dark Shrine, says MaxPax. I think Dark just kind of needs to go for it. Maybe wipe out most of MaxPax's army, remax on Corruptors, come wipe out the rest of it. And then just go, because MaxPax cannot remax on 400 minerals and 1100 gas. He can't make hardly anything with that, but Dark's kind of giving him some time here. I don't know. Maybe trying to saturate some of his newer bases a little bit. Again, he doesn't have enough drones to fully saturate them, but his income is huge anyway. Ultralisk Cavern in production from Dark. He's getting Neural Parasites. Getting all of the neat little toys that Zerg players have. And you know what? MaxPax is alive. I wasn't sure if he would survive to the 17-minute mark here against Dark with how that opening went, but you know what? He's doing great. I'm telling you, this MaxPax kid, he's one of the up-and-coming, pretty darn excellent European players. I'm just saying. The carriers are like, we can't be bothered with roaches. Void rays. Handle them. Maybe actually kill that pylon if you're going to... There you go. Going to do something. MaxPax has got his Tempest out now to help deal with the Broodlords. Unsurprising that. He still doesn't really have the money to max out, but you know, Dark's only about 2,000 minerals too. So that roach dies. This roach has 1 kill and goes down. Whatever. Probably paid for himself there, I suppose. I don't know what this Archon's doing. Why are you not... This is on hold position, I guess. That's strange. Disruptors, and then a recall out because... Oh, the mothership gets killed. The recall gets canceled. What? Sick plays there. And now you don't have a recall available because it got canceled. So Fungal's getting tossed down on the Interceptors, chasing MaxPax away here. Corruptor Ball cruising on in. Like, oh, yes, you can't recall out. If you can, okay, the Broodlords are... Once the ground army's out, the air is really going to struggle here. Parasitic Bomb getting tossed down on all of these units. The Prismatic Alignment is up. The chaos is real right now. The Corruptors are trying to win, but the Void Rays are really chewing through them extremely hard. Now the Prismatic Alignment is worn off, and now the Corruptors are jumping in on this. Transfuses going on. Throwing down some Changelings. I don't know for what purpose there exactly. Vision, maybe. The transfuses are good. Maybe some Neural Parasite would be hot, but I think they're just throwing down. There's the Neural Parasite on one of the carriers here. Corruptor Ball's not big. Additional carriers come from the south. This is MaxPax. Is he winning this engagement? I don't know. I don't know what the Broodlords are going to do for you here, though. There's not enough Corruptors to handle these carriers or these Tempests, but he's making 9 more. That's exactly what he can do. That unfortunately, MaxPax is not as easily able to do here. So he's got another recall coming in. He loses a couple carriers during that recall. Oh, Void Rays with the bad rally. And suddenly it's 164 to 181 supply. So yeah, a little bit of a zealot attempted run by up this way. That's why we have spines in these positions, says Dark, is for that very reason. MaxPax says, I gotta keep going. I didn't kill any bases there. Some Ultralisks on the way, and exactly 0 Immortals to handle said Ultras. Archons are not bad, however, especially, you know, if they've got the +2 attack. Doing that extra damage versus all things biological, which is everything that Zerg is. Continuing, man, the Archons are just getting eaten alive by the broodlings that are coming from the sky here, and I don't know if there's enough from MaxPax to do this. The Corruptor count is big, as we keep mentioning. Dark had a minute to make a few more with his superior income. Our value is 128 to 67. I think this might just be it for the army of the Swedish MaxPax. Yeah, woo, down to 24 army supply. Just too much. I mean, sure, 14 drones died at this base. That's pretty good. MaxPax is like, I can do it. I'm making 2 Void Rays at a time. I can totally win this game. And Dark's like, are you serious? I've got 3 times the army value that you do. We're going to caustic spray down your bottom right-hand base. Bonk. All these probes have nowhere to go anymore. There's another zealot attack up the left side, which these spines are handling, and which its Ultralisk is going to try to handle here too. It's 190 to 93 supply. And I mean, at this stage of the game, it really seems like Dark has this entirely under control. He's doing great. He's got +3 attack for his flyers. He's got +3 attack for his missiles. Got neural parasite, fungals, parasitic bombs, abducts available here too. MaxPax is making more Void Rays. His army is 5 Void Rays and a mothership. I mean, look, MaxPax. I love you. I understand you're really trying to beat Dark here. That'd be a nice feather in your cap, but that's not happening today. Maybe in the future, but not today. Because Dark, you left him alone too long, man. You just didn't harass him enough. You didn't kill any of his bases. That's just going to be a hard way to win. Ultras are chomping away at a bunch of your probes down here. Maybe not, actually. And then draining all the energy off the shield batteries. This base dying too. Going after the newer sources of income, which I say in every one of these StarCraft games. If you go after the newer sources of income of your opponent and chomp those down, you're gonna win. Yep, there are more probes dead. Nexus dead. Trying to rebuild this one down here too. MaxPax. I don't know if this is like the final game in a series between you and Dark, but you're seriously making Dark finish this. I mean, he's got Void Rays, and if you've got Void Rays, you've got a chance. It's usually how this goes. Dark's maxed out. He's got the bank up again. 3,000 minerals, 2,000 gas. What are you pulling back for? Kill this? How is this alive, Dark? Guess you can't really make a bunch of speedlings. They've got some speedlings to handle that. It's got 14 lings and 4 Ultralisks. So run down to the bottom right, kill this base, and you got this thing. Dark is sort of kind of playing with his food here. Come on, Dark. MaxPax doesn't deserve that. And look what I said about Zerglings. Oh, that poor guy gets caught out and adrenal gland to death. And there's actually army to defend this bottom right base now. Remember when I was like, you should probably get in there. Actually, only +1 attack and +2 armor for those lings. They've got adrenal, but that's it. So maybe that was just calculated by Dark. He pulls the army of MaxPax down to the bottom right. So he comes to this third base of MaxPax, rains down the fire that is Broodlings. With only +1 attack, though. The strike attack from the Broodlords is 3, but it's only 1 attack here on the Broodlings and, you know, the +2 armor we talked about. That said, gonna burn this down. This base, there's no income here, though. So I guess you're killing, sure, some warp gates, couple cannons. I suppose 138 to 53 army supply really does not seem at all promising here for MaxPax. He's gonna get parasitic bombs tossed on his Void Rays. They're gonna try to engage with stuff. Oh, the Ultralisks came down, and the army was ready to deal with that. So MaxPax is getting squished into this one source of income, which he's lost once, and Dark very casually allowed him to retake. But you know, I mean, I don't know. Is that a fair thing to say here? I'm not sure that it is. I mean, look, MaxPax has been playing hard. He's taken Dark to 25 minutes. Whether this should have been over 5 minutes ago, I don't know for sure, but yeah, these Zealots getting caught out. And feedbacks on those Vipers, storming on the Corruptors too. Great use of High Templar play there by MaxPax. He doesn't have the army to handle this, but he's spellcasting to within an inch of his life right now. Ling's cruising down the left side. I mean, look, all hats off to MaxPax here. He's doing great. He's fine. He's taking advantage of the fact that Broodlords are slow, which I can definitely support, but it's kind of expanding in a couple places, and the Broodlords can't handle all of that. Shield Battery Overcharge kind of saving the day here. I mean, really saving the day here, yeah, without question. Dark. I'm going to kill this base for the second time today because he allowed it to come back. Is Dark just like a healthy respect for Protoss? Is that what this is? He's like, I've lost the Protoss a lot this year. I don't want to keep losing the Protoss. Ultralisks in amongst the bottom right. But getting surrounded by Zealots is bad for an Ultra. Especially if they don't have their full upgrades. They don't, but the Zealots... never mind. The Hydralisks win anyway. So that base is dead. There's our storm and engagement right here. Mothership down. GG! There we go. Dark is your winner. MaxPax finally taps out, seeing the future for what it is. And GG. Well done, Dark, getting the win there. Tough, tough loss for MaxPax. He feels like he was probably a bit closer to getting that than maybe we all thought. But yeah, a 38,000 resources lost from Dark and 53,000 for MaxPax. That is how in control Dark was in this game. Only one Hive died today. One Hive died. 4 Nexuses went down. 71 probes, 35 drones, 73 Corruptors went down. That is so many. He had 29. He made 100 Corruptors today, and it pretty much worked. All 12 carriers died. Void Ray death count is a total of 36 with 9 left on the field. Mothership died. Replacement Mothership on the field there too. So yeah, Dark just defending extremely well. MaxPax trying to do the stuff, getting Sky Toss up, trying to send Zealot charge attacks out across the map. But Dark was prepared for it in most every case, except for the one in his main. And then just the Broodlords were very patient. Dark was overall very patient there, not really willing to engage into situations that were dicey for him. And he gets the win. So well done. Well done indeed to Dark. MaxPax not quite there yet, but you can see the progress that he's made. So GG to the young one. MaxPax from Sweden. And that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.